Welcome to the Suzanne Northrop Show, where the spirit world comes alive.
Hi, everyone. I'm with Ms. Murphy today. We love working together. We have a great time, and it's always a lot of fun. And we had decided, well, I mean, I do it every year anyway, but we tend to like to do these special ones together, like we did, like Mother's Day and Father's Day and whatever it is. And so we like to do those as well. And just for FYI, I don't know if you're doing anything else for Father's Day. I am. I have my own Father's Day show on the 17th for anybody that wants to join for that. So it's going to be on Zoom, and you can just sign up for that and whatever it is. And so I don't know if you have anything as well you want to talk about before we end the hour, Cheryl. You can sort of do that as well.
Yeah, thank you. No, my Father's Day is really kind of be quiet this year. I have my healing prayer circles that I do for Sundays, so I love inviting people to that.
That's
Yeah.
great. That's great. So the way I like to do the Father's Day show, and I see a lot of folks are writing in here, and I'm getting a little more used to StreamYard. I don't have to throw my computer across the room because we're getting this. That becomes expensive anyway. So I'm kind of getting that, and I'm sort of liking that it's like I said, I was with Blog Talk for so many, like 15, 20, whatever it was, and I kind of liked it because I did so much radio for so many years, Blog Talk. And when my own radio show stopped, that's how I ended up doing Blog Talk. But anyway, because people got used to listen to me on the radio weekly. Anyway, so we've moved now into another era, and now we're in the era of StreamYard, and a lot of people have written in, and so you're going to have to be a little patient with us because what we'll do is we'll put you on screen. But the way we like to do the Father's Day thing, a lot of people want to talk about their dads. I got that. But if you're a dad, you can also pipe in, and it doesn't have to be biological dads. We know that there's a lot of men who've stepped up when the jerk left, and raised you, and they become your fathers. Or sometimes I know that if the father crosses, a granddad steps in. So anybody, and they don't have to be blood, because I can tell you, I have met many men. I'm sure you have too as well throughout your professional life. Is that these men, they stepped in and raised them, and because they felt like they could really help them. So a lot of that happens, and I think it's wonderful to do that, because young people, they need so much guidance and love, and and just cool things. And by the way, dads not only take boys fishing, but they take girls. I just want you to know that, because I know plenty of girls that their dads. You know that too, don't you, Cheryl?
My dad took me fishing, Suzanne.
See, there you go.
There we are.
I must have had a psychic moment. So I didn't go fishing with my dad because I couldn't do the thing on the hook. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But I did go crow thing with him, where you throw up the thing and it becomes like the crow, and because he was a hunter also, So, but anyway. In any case, so that's sort of all of that. But in any case, we're gonna. Cheryl's really good. She likes to open up with a small prayer. Usually, we can do that.
I usually do.
And so we'll kind of like do that, and then we'll just go down the line here, and wherever we're drawn, we'll sort of like do it, and we'll try to get as many people as we can. It's a little more difficult with the video, with the StreamYard, because it takes a while, and we don't do it. Stephanie is phenomenal for that for us, and so that's sort of the deal on that one. But in any case, and that we have to do the duck, whatever the duck means. The duck is the one that is the key for us. So if for some reason somebody doesn't get in, it's because you're not with the duck, and don't ask me what that means. Like if it looks like a duck, quack, because there probably is a duck.
Right.
I think that's an expression somewhere along the line.
It is.
But anyway, so my friend, we can just start to rock and roll here. Is there anything you want to add to this little
well, number one,
scenario?
Suzanne, let me just say thank you for having me today on your show. It's such a pleasure to see you always, and thank you to your audience for joining us. It is such a special time to work with fathers, and mothers too. I know you had a great Mother's Day special. Now we're doing fathers. Thank you so much for including me on this. It's such an honor to be here.
Well, those are big days for a lot of people,
Mhm.
and the fact is that what's interesting is that mothers actually really get to in some ways dominate the whole month of May because there's nothing else going on.
Mhm.
Have to They have to contend with proms, they have to contend with graduations, they have to contend with marriages. I mean,
So
like, we don't want them to be too pushed aside, so we gave them this day on the show.
there's some
uh,
competition there for dads.
Competition for dad in June, because everybody, June is like a month of like everything. So there you go. As I wrote in my newsletters, like, well, and then of course, if people lose people during June, then that's on no other,
Mhm.
a whole
Mhm.
other thing that
Mhm.
what we do. And
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
dad that wants to make it to the wedding doesn't make it to the, all that kind of sort of stuff, or the graduation, or kind of whatever. So that's why we're here.
Yes.
So
Well, if I may I just lead us on a short prayer, a short kind of, real gratitude, just to have the gratitude. So if everyone, please, as you're coming on live, please just take a moment, close your eyes. And really, it is about connecting with not only dads and moms, but connecting heart to heart with everyone in spirit, and really sending all this gratitude that what a pleasure and honor it is to be open to receiving a message today, and always know that whatever messages come through for today, if you can take any of that when someone else is getting their reading, please do so from your loved ones. That's them also coming through. And really, if you could just hold that gratitude in your heart, hold space for everyone on the call today. That's all we ask. And, invite your loved ones in. And, Suzanne and I will do our best to read as many people as we can. But it is all about healing and connection. And so, with that, I will just say, and so it is. That's beautiful. And so it is. You may open your eyes, and when you're ready, yes, I see you have a lot of people still coming on. It's great to be here, Suzanne. And
yes.
would you like to begin?
Um, Actually, let's just see here. I'm going to do, let's see. Uh, Bring in Nancy Bosco, I believe. So, and by the way, in between here, I just mentioned a really quick here about while we wait for Nancy to
Yes.
come on.
Yes.
Is like I asked you again, if Cheryl had anything else going on this month.
Yeah.
I have a small group this week.
Hmm. Oh, you do?
I do in 2 days, in Wednesday, and then I got my own Father's Day show next Monday.
I
Oh,
just came from the gym, so excuse how I look.
yay.
Oh, you look great.
Yeah.
You look great. Yes. So you look great. You're doing wonderful. Are you enjoying this almost Father's Day month, Nancy?
So I met with you in October, Suzanne,
Oh, you did. Oh,
and I'm thrilled. I can't even believe out of all these people you said for me to join.
well, it's not always up to me.
Well, and I'm whatever. I'm thrilled, and my dad's been gone a
Oh.
year, and
Mm.
he was 97. And I just miss him terribly, and I still cry sometimes. I'm better, but it's just a huge void.
Yes, of course. That's when you have somebody for a long time, your whole life.
Yeah.
That's that's pretty cool. So and I said never take these things personally, because I don't remember a quarter or an eighth or a 16th of my session. So I don't remember you, but that's okay. It's not a personal thing.
No, that's all right. I remember you. That's all that matters.
That's all
There
that
we
is. And
are.
sometimes I'll remember the dead people more than the living people, which sounds like a crazy thing. But that's who we have our sort of our connections with. But I'm going to say I want to mention one of this, and then I'll say a couple things, and then maybe Cheryl will say a couple
Yeah.
things. You might just as well do that. But first of all, he has this incredible smile. You would have known this man to have an incredible smile, and with that, phenomenal good nature. Like cracking jokes, being funny, being a light guy. I mean, like you couldn't ask for a better dad to be like that. And
Yeah, he
so,
was a great dad.
and so those personalities they are special, and they are tough to repeat, because it's sort of like, and we all know that, we always hear about the people that are grouchy and they don't want to whatever, but that was not your dad. And I want to say that was his personality. But I have to also be honest with you. There was a part of him loving you so much as a daughter that you brought that out in him. I have to tell you. And so it was like, it was a tremendous combination of both things. Now, I don't know who he's talking about, but I'm hearing like a 4-letter J name, like a Jack, like a Joe, like a John, like some sound like that. I don't know if that's connected to him or around him or somebody else that he's mentioning, please.
Well, my sister Joanne passed 21 years ago now.
So then your father's telling me that he's with her.
Yeah, and when I had my reading with you, she was too.
Oh, got it. Okay, thank you. So I guess she's showing up again. And it's interesting because now I'm not saying that this is the reason why, but that would have no other reason would have driven him to be even closer to his other daughter. I mean, there's no way that that's not going to happen. You're going to have the benefits of that. And for the record, you're very different than your sister anyway. That's a given. And you always
June 5th was just 21 years for her passing, and May 5th was 1 year for Dad.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, interesting. And what a lot of people don't know is that, it's very not uncommon for people to have crossings around either holidays or their birthdays, or, to have 2 5s within a month. That's pretty intense. I know. It's like I have a birthday of, 26, 28, and 29, which was me and my father and my mother. It was like all in a row. So that stuff is really, 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 really cool. So I think that's great. I want to ask one other quick thing here, and then I'll see if Cheryl wants to tap in. Do you have a son by chance?
I don't.
Okay. Would there be a son? Would your sister have the son?
Yes.
Got it. And that would be obviously your nephew.
Yes.
Okay. Was he connected to your dad?
So my parents raised him because my sister was sick with MS.
Okay.
And my parents raised him since he was 3.
Okay. So
and he's 38 in a week.
Got it. So no wonder your dad would bring that up. And he's in June too. So there you go.
Yeah.
So it's obviously your father checking in on that. And because it looks like he had a phenomenal connection to your dad, which makes a whole lot of sense. So because your father got a son.
Yeah, he raised him.
Yeah, he got a son, that he hadn't planned on. And that's what happens in life. So he was one of those that did sort of all of it. But the fact is that you are now carrying on that, my dear. And honorably so, as your dad says. He goes, oh no, Nancy's on the case. So, and he's very connected to your nephew. So you're really, really important in his life, because you were there around for his rearing, So, so that was a really strong connection. And so, I think the fact that you keep that connection going with him is really important.
Yeah, we just picked out his birthday card yesterday. My mother's 96, and I had her pick out his card, and all of that.
You got some longevity in your family, darling.
Yeah, I don't want to live that long.
I hear you. So did you want to add a couple things, Cheryl?
Can I just tell you, Nancy, how much love your dad has for you coming through, and for your whole family. He's such a family person. Can I just say that? Yeah. Like, family is where it's at. That's his purpose in life, was to have a family, was to be a father. And of course, to be a husband, and what a great husband he was. What a great dad. Like, he's always there. I just feel him being there with your recitals or whatever you were working on in school. And I just feel him loving holidays. And he's such a man of celebration too, about celebrating the holidays, celebrating the chance to be together, and actually learning, because he feels like a really good teacher too. I want to share with you my life experiences. I want to story tell, and then adding the brilliance of the humor, as Suzanne mentioned, behind that. trying to make life fun and not
Yeah.
take it maybe so seriously sometimes, because it was serious enough.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I
Right,
used to
Suzanne?
say, even a month before he passed, his birthday dinner, La Familia. He would always say La Familia at these
Yeah, which
family
means laugh.
dinners,
Yes, laughter. Yes,
and
yes.
he'd start to cry, and yeah, the
Mhm.
family was his thing. Yes.
So I just
So
know
the
that,
fact of losing, but for
yeah.
him losing this daughter,
Mhm.
and I'm sure that's going to that horrible illness, was intense. And then next thing you know, you're raising a child.
Oh yeah,
Um, you
yeah,
you got to be special people to do that, because
yeah.
when
And they
you,
are, and we're, yeah,
yes, and when
absolutely.
you get a certain age, and you've done the parenting things. It's like, well, I've done. I thought I was done. Well, I guess somebody else had something
Yeah.
else in mind.
It changed, it
Yeah,
changed our lives. Yeah.
changes
Uh,
your lives.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Does
yeah,
he know, like, I'm so sad without him?
yeah. He knows, honey. But I want to tell you a little secret, and I know that Cheryl probably knows this as well. Is that sometimes, and I'm not. I want you to understand, this is not all the time, but there are moments when we're feeling that that emptiness and that sadness, and sometimes it has to do with your father's energy being around you. So it's like, because you're tuned in, and if you feel him around, you may not put two and two together that it has to do with his presence, is what I'm trying to say to you.
So I want to feel him, and I don't, but
Okay.
maybe,
So what I'm saying to you is that what you're feeling is probably the energy. And so what you
Oh,
need
okay.
you need to do is tell him, like, Dad, I still want you to be around, even if I'm feeling that, because
Yeah.
often they interchange with each other. That's why, and this is for everybody else out there, that sometimes when you don't feel like you're feeling them and you're feeling really low, what it is their energy's around you, and you're not aware of it. You're not cognizant of it. That part of your brain is not cognizant of the fact that that's what you're feeling.
Hmm.
So at those moments, those are the moments you must say, it doesn't matter that I'm feeling this way. I want you to be there anyway. I
Yeah.
want you to let me know you're around.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, my dear. Thank you so much.
Thank
Nancy.
you.
You're
Thank
really
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, how lovely.
And then how do I get out of here? Remove me from the stage?
There you go. You're gone. Nothing like walking off stage, as they say. Once you're on, you got to learn how to walk off. Yes. Yeah. So.
Oh, you have so many people here for the first time, Suzanne.
I know. Well, I say, these are big deals. June is that kind of month, as you can hear, as you well know. It's so many things that are going on for so many people. And that's why we do what we do, and that's why we do things like this on these particular, kind of holidays. But that's.
Yeah.
Does something hit your button over there?
Well, I did feel Stacy Finnegan, if I may, at
Go ahead.
2:58, if I may.
I see her. I see
I
her.
just felt a sudden passing, and I want to see if this is Stacy's dad coming through, because I just felt almost like he missed out, and I have to.
Okay, so
We're
I'm
gonna.
assuming that yeah, it looks like her. I see her name up there, so it looks like she's. I don't know if that means only her name, or there's a video, or what.
Can she come back?
Well,
Or
Stephanie's doing this.
yeah, doing the
So I don't know if that means she's not in the room
in the room.
or not. I would say if she's not in the room, though, I think we could give. Well, I see. Oh, there she is.
There she is,
There she is.
Stacy, hi.
Hi.
Stacy,
You
hi.
can hear me, right? Okay, good.
Yes,
You
we
sound
can.
good.
We can.
Stacy, your dad, did he have a sudden passing?
It
Suddenly?
was sudden that it wasn't expected at that time. Yes.
May we just connect with him for you
please.
today? I feel in some way there's some unfinished business with him Yes.
Yes.
or broken, like I feel in some way, broken words, broken heart, unfinished business with him, misunderstanding is what I'm get. Like in some way, he feels like a father who was there and then gone, like in your life, out of your life, like, hey, and it's almost like he missed some of those important times in your life, if you
All of them.
understand that.
All of them. Yes.
And would I be right that even nowhere to be found with your father? Like he's gone. Where did he
Yeah.
go?
For 20 years, we had no contact with him.
And and I feel like him saying like brace yourself, because even though he wasn't there, he was thinking about you or thinking about the family. But he does also, Stacy, if I'm right, feeling like a man who really hard to express himself, or hard to express his feelings, hard to come forth. And here we are connecting with him in spirit, because I feel all this love coming through, meaning that I think he always had love for you. I even want him to say, look, what happened to me had nothing to do with you. Did you ever feel that, expressing that, or him trying to get that across to you?
At the end, I did reconnect with him, and I was able to say a lot of things, and he was too. Yeah.
That's
I
great.
do. Yeah. Isn't that great, Suzanne? I
Yes,
mean,
yes.
that's
And
really,
and and
yeah,
and
go ahead.
and just for the record,
Yeah.
Stacy, that's not by accident. You understand?
Yeah. Yes.
Somebody is orchestrating that from another program. um,
Absolutely. I agree.
because if I hear once, and I'm sure Cheryl hears as many times as I do, the would have, could have, should have, would have, could have, should have, would have. There's always the would have, could have, should have, would have. That's why I'm an anal about it, and I'm sure Cheryl is too. Like, if there's something you need to say, something you need to do, please do it now, because 20 years you're still going to be thinking about it down the road. That, damn it, I can't believe I didn't do that.
Mhm.
So
Very
somehow
true.
that was orchestrated. So even if there was 20 years that went by, those moments, it's not a matter of making up, but those moments put some kind of a healing, a sense of connectiveness, a sense of, the heart's meeting the heart,
Right.
which is really, really quite wonderful. I'll tell you one thing about your dad.
Yeah.
He might have kept a lot of things inside, but he was a really smart man.
He was very
He's a
smart.
really,
Yes.
really smart man. When I see books on the walls,
Yeah.
that always tells me that this person well, you don't probably know Yiddish, but it means a lot of knockus up.
Yeah.
So he was an extremely smart man.
Very. He was in Mensa. He was part of all that mess.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go, Mensa. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
but when they show me that they don't usually mess around, that means that person was, and it's interesting, because I don't know if he didn't use it the way he should have, or I feel like I feel he had so much, but he didn't convert it, or didn't convert it in his life,
Yeah.
the way that not that he should have, but that that was a load on him, that he couldn't convert that intelligence.
That would make sense. Yes. He
And that's
didn't use it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's probably why his depression and his inability is, as Cheryl was saying, to connect. I'm sure that overshadowed, to be honest with you, a lot of that.
Probably so. Yeah. He wasn't real good with people.
I was just going to say, it feels like not only with you, but with other people, just
Yeah.
socially awkward, or there's that
Very. Yeah.
awkwardness, right? Where you're more in your head, or this makes more sense than the outside world, or,
Yeah.
it's like oil and water feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Stacy, to add to what Suzanne was saying, it feels in some way, because of all the work with your intuition that you're doing, you're connecting with him though, or you're
Mhm.
Oh,
maybe
you just gave me chills.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe
it's
you're
funny
in
that Suzanne said about the emotions, because I think when he comes around, I start crying, and I didn't know that was him. And then all of a sudden, somebody will give me a reading. And so now that she said that, it makes perfect sense to me.
So now you know how your validation is.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense when all of a sudden, out of the blue, we get emotional when we think about
Yeah.
somebody, and our instincts are like, yeah, I'm thinking about my dad, and I'm thinking about this person's, I'm feeling a little sad,
Right.
and that's a natural reaction. But
Mm.
in that moment, and I always say to people that, and that's the moment you need to say, like, even though I'm feeling this way, I still want you to come near me. I still want to feel your presence, you know,
Right.
and you let them know, because they take their cues from us. And especially if you have, you know, I find out if you have really strong, you know, dead people, so to speak.
I have very strong dead people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then
Cheryl
you would,
knows.
yeah, then oh, Cheryl, okay, because you obviously know, so
It's been
you
a
would,
while.
so you would feel it even more. You know, the more
Right.
powerful the person, of course, the more you're going to feel it. That's why a lot of times people will say to me, like, my person, they weren't really that strong. You think they'll still show up? But I said, absolutely. One has nothing to do with the other, but they may show up. You know, they're going to show up how they are. You know,
Right.
so
Right.
yeah, so that's
Wow.
pretty cool. All
I
right,
feel like your
go ahead.
father is just saying how proud he is of the leader that you've become. I just want to say, you know, about how you're this bright star in this path, and you've really had to make that your own path. You know,
Yeah,
do you understand that? Like you've
I
really had to
do.
kind of make your own way in this world. You know,
Yeah,
That
and
makes perfect sense.
that's
My
right.
brother and my mom were very intuitive, but they hid it all from me. They thought I was too sensitive. Yes, I know. It's
Yeah.
I just came back from visiting my brother. He's in another state and he's dying of cancer, unfortunately, right now. But he
Mhm.
never got that closure with my father and said he didn't need it. So now I'm wondering, he's about to be there with him.
Mm,
I
mm.
hope it's a pleasant, you know. I mean, I
You
know
know,
they're not
I
gonna
tell
fight
people
over
that,
there.
you know, we don't become, you know, goody two shows if we weren't a goody two shoes here. However, thing in
Mhm.
the other world is very different because you're removed from number one, the body and
Right.
the
Right.
mind. You're so
Right.
you're there's no the barriers. It's kind of gone all the way there, you know. So
Yeah.
there you go. There you
My
go.
brother couldn't move past it. I'm hoping when he does pass and comes to his own, that
He
he will be
will.
able to do that.
He
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
We tend to figure out how to sort it out. Yeah.
I will hold on to that then because that gives me comfort. So,
That's
yeah.
great.
Good.
That's
Good.
great. Well,
Thank
Thank
this
you.
is
you.
being recorded anyway, so you know,
Oh,
whatever.
good.
Right.
Yeah. All
Thank
right, my
you. Thank you
dear.
so much.
You're welcome. Take care.
Thank you.
Okay.
You know how it is, Suzanne, when you're just letting spirit guide you to the people to draw through, and your eyes
Mm-hmm.
just
Mm-hmm.
focus in, or they go bullseye. So, who
Uh-huh.
are you being drawn to? Who are
Let's
you?
just see here. I saw another person. What did I say? Where did that person go? Um. Yeah. Let's do Doug. Oh no, I can't do Doug because doesn't have an eagle. You got to have the eagles for me to do this. Don't ask me. Don't ask
The
me what.
ducks, not eagles.
I told you ducks.
Well,
Looks like a duck. Quacks like a duck. Looks like a duck in here. Okay. Where did this person go now? I gotta find the name again. Let's do Joelle. Don't
what
know
is
where
that
she
name?
is. I think it's Joelle.
Joelle.
Joelle. I have a Joelle in my life. That's how come I know.
It's a beautiful name.
Yeah, that was my like a mother to me. Her name was Eleanor, and her husband was Joe. So they named
Oh.
her daughter Joelle,
Oh,
and that's what makes me think about it. So
I love it.
I haven't seen Joelle since her, to be honest with you. She was one of my favorite people in life. So I think that she's got the duck. So, looks like a duck, quacks like a duck. So
That's funny.
yes. Are you having good weather in California, Cheryl?
We're having great weather, and I just can't tell you how beautiful it is here right now.
Okay,
It's
well,
just
don't
fantastic.
tell me because I don't want to know about it because we've had rain after rain after
I've-
rain after
I've
rain
watched.
on the East Coast, and I had an incredible day yesterday that spoiled me, and now I'm not happy because the rain's back again today. So I don't want to know about it. It's affecting me going into my garden and all those other things. I mean, I've never been this late on my garden, ever. So
And you have a spirit circle in a couple of days, you mentioned,
I
coming
have a
up?
small circle. Yes, I have a
Small
spirit circle.
circle.
Yes.
I have one also coming up at the end of this month. So mine are maybe towards the end of this month. But
Well, I do 2 a month. and it's
Do you do
never
2 months?
yeah, 2 months, and then never more than 5 people. So I it's really limited. So of course, and everybody gets a message that's in that group.
That's
And
great.
everybody gets the messages that other people get as well. So how are we doing, Stephanie? Did you have thumbs up? No, yes, whatever. Where is she? Did she take the train to Pittsburgh or something like that? We can call on somebody else. Let's see who else it gets. Let's see here. What about Deborah? Pusha Carricks. Wicks? I'm terrible with names. Don't take it personal. Push Carricks. Pusha Carricks. Something Wicks on the end. Let's try her. There's a duck. Or Linda Wilson. Either one of those you can throw at us.
Or both, if they both come on.
And if they both come on. I don't know how many people we can do in this room here.
You have a lot of first-time people. This is great. I'm just like, this is amazing. This is great.
Yes. Well, if they're in the East Coast, it means it's raining and they can't be outside. oh boy. Because if it's like with you. We got Deborah in. Perfect.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm all excited.
Good.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Even if I destroyed your name.
You did it. You did it justice.
Thank you. Thank you. I try. Not one of my better aspects. But we're glad we got you in. All right, cool. Did you want to go first, Cheryl? Do you want me to go first?
Well, Deborah, you're both mom and dad are on the other side?
Yes.
And would you understand, were they married till the very end of life?
Yes, they were.
Like they were together to the end? Mm-hmm. Also, I felt an anniversary right around now, or something that just passed.
My father's passing was May 25th.
Okay, thank you. And Dad feels a bit headstrong or a bit stubborn coming through. And I do feel he's like a big teddy bear. Like I feel like in some way he has that external, whatever they say, he's a little bit hard on the outside, but soft on the middle is how I feel with him.
You have him definitely.
Right.
And so
just like a dessert.
Is
yes.
Like a dessert. So
the sweetness at the end.
Sweetness at the end. So easy to love. And I do want to say a big personality and big humor coming through. I think your father would walk into a room and everyone would know him, or at least everyone would know him when they left.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Lots of love to you. And that I feel you and your dad having that real closeness. You guys did have that father-daughter bond. You understand that? Does that make sense about hanging out with him? And I don't know why, I just feel such a good sense of humor with your dad and so much outdoors with him. And really that love of animals too is coming through. So do you understand that, you guys having some animals, please? Some pets, some dogs and cats?
We had the animals and he was a nature lover.
Loving that. And I know he's here. And Suzanne, I'm going to hand it over to you because I just feel so much. I feel like he's crying on the other side saying, my daughter, I'm with my daughter, that reunion.
I feel that way now myself.
That's wonderful. So let me ask you, Deborah, where's the 3 come in? Are you one of 3? Are they one of 3? Where's the 3?
The only thing I could think of with 3 would be both my parents and my brother are on the other side.
Okay, right. I knew the 3 was significant. So she got your dad and your mom. So I'm adding in the brother. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, just real quick here. Before I mentioned something about him. Who was a carpenter or who worked with wood? I'm definitely getting like somebody who worked with their hands. I don't know if they worked with their hands or were very good with their hands.
He was very good with his hands, but I also had an uncle who was a mechanic.
Was that his brother or something?
Yes.
That's why. Thank you. So he must be over there too then.
Yes.
Yeah, because I see the guy with the hands, and I was gonna say they've got to be a mechanic or a carpenter or one, because this is definitely a person who worked with their hands and were really, really good with their hands, for sure.
Okay.
And I'm gathering if your uncle's coming with your dad, there was a connection. They must have been connected.
A very strong connection.
Very, very strong connection. And did their family speak another language, Deborah?
Yes, Polish.
I was going to say, I'm hearing dialect, and it's almost like you would have been raised with it. I mean, you most definitely would have been raised with it. You might know some choice words here and there, whatever.
Yeah, but they were born here in this country.
Okay, so did they speak that dialect because of their parents or something? Is that what
they would speak to their parents that way?
That's why I was going to say, because I know that they had to, because otherwise that's sort of how I'm hearing it. Yes, that's cool. Now, I want to mention this real strong here. First of all, there is a very strong connection with you and your brother. That was a big loss for you.
Yeah.
We had an water and oil relationship.
That's okay. Those are sometimes the ones that we have the biggest, it's one of those that I was saying earlier, if, could, what, that, the what ifs. Yeah.
Yeah, but he, I can't tell you how much I talk to him now.
That's great. And by the way, that's not uncommon. Sometimes people have better relationships with people that they had issues with here, and they smooth them out over there, and they learn they learn to get away from the stuff where they can make the connection. And that's probably why he's coming in the way that he's coming in, because I'm getting actually an endearness to you. So where he couldn't maybe do it here, he's now able to do it there. And so I think it's really broadened, to be honest with you, your relationship, to be quite frank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was with him when he passed.
And they choose that, by the way, which a lot of people don't know. I always tell people, no. Don't do two things. Don't pee or have a cigarette if you want to be with them, because they'll die on you. That's the way it is. That's I didn't make up the rules. That's just sort of the way it is. But I want to ask one other quick thing here. Was there like either a lake or a pond or something like that you guys would go to? They talk about the place where we'd spend this heartfelt time as a family.
There was a place that we went up to in Vermont. It was actually one of the two vacations that we took as a family.
Yeah.
And I actually and it was on a Lake Willoughby in Vermont.
That's it.
And and I actually released my brother's ashes there.
There you go.
Last year.
Thank you. Well, I was going to say, I knew it was heartfelt, and I wasn't sure to what extension, but it was almost like I felt like as a family we went to this place, and I knew it was on the East Coast somewhere. It looked to me like it was clearly East Coast, terrain, since I live on the East Coast, and I'm very close to Vermont actually. So, and I love Vermont; it's a great skiing place. My friend Stephanie's skiing place. Okay, anyway, so, but in any case, I think that he's letting you know he knows. If he's bringing up the lake, he's letting you know that was his wishes.
Well, and I'm happy I was able to do it.
Yeah.
That's great. That's special. I always say those little things are the big things in terms of honor. But yeah. Let's see. The thing is that you might have had your glitches along the way, but when you were there as a family, that's when you really enjoyed your time connected and together and have those memories. Those were the good memories.
He was a good person. It's just we were water and oil.
Yeah, that's the way it is. That is the way it is. So, all right, my dear. Wait, thank you so much.
I thank you so much for everything. You have a wonderful, wonderful night and a fantastic summer.
Thank you.
Thank you. Summer we're looking for.
Yes, I'm on the East Coast too. So I know what you're saying.
So the misery likes company, right?
Yes.
Hey, Deborah, before we go, I feel like they're saying they're the ones flickering the lights in your house. Like, I don't know if you have a short or an electrical short, but they're the ones creating that. It's kind of a funny chaos, they're saying, because they're all sitting on the couch around you, saying that you have a lot of people on the other side, that you keep them company, like you talk to them every day. You talk to them just like we're talking now.
Yes, cool. I do that.
Yeah. Okay, just sending you that love.
Thank you.
Bye, Deborah. Thank you
Bye.
for being
So
to your parents.
should I pick Cheryl, or does something hit your fancy?
Well, I've had this name for a while called Dana Slick.
Okay.
Dana Slick has asked a couple of times. It's their first time in this virtual event. And they came in around 3:23, but I think it's a she, posted a couple of times, Dana Slick. Hoping for a message, she says. Hi, Dana. Hey, Dana.
Oh,
Hi, how are you?
good. I just have to show you, you're talking about horrible weather, and we just have had the most beautiful weather here in South Florida.
Oh, don't you even think about it. Don't you even think about those words coming out of your mouth. My Lord.
Well, Suzanne, would you like to begin?
I'm going to let you go on this one, Cheryl.
Okay. Just to start off, Dana, is there a recent birthday or significant day? It just feels like there's something special around you that just happened, or
Well, so I turned 30 in a few weeks. My mom
Okay.
just turned 60 a few days ago.
Okay, very good. And I just feel like I want to celebrate. Your energy just feels so lively and wanting to celebrate. So may I ask about your father? Is your father passed?
No, my father's still here.
Okay. Would you understand a gentleman in spirit, though, that passes from a heart or heart attack, please? Like it could be grandfather. Would you understand that?
So my grandfather, it was esophageal. It was,
Okay.
I don't know, a heart.
Yeah. I do feel a sudden passing with the gentleman coming through.
Okay. Oh. I was young. It was pretty quick,
Mm-hmm.
but I was young.
Mm-hmm. And may I just work with you for a moment and your grandfather? Because I feel like he wants to step in and tell me he was close with the family.
I've always been really, really connected, and my whole life I'm like, he never visits me. And in the last probably 2 months, I feel him. And it's crazy that I just came to sit out here because I'm always like, I feel like he's sitting on my back patio with me all of the time. And it's the first time in my life that I feel like I feel him. And so it makes a lot of sense.
So he feels, I don't know if you know a lot about him, because he feels kind of like a Mr. Fix-It kind of guy, or he would walk around looking for things to fix. So I want you to ask your parents if you're not sure about that. But I feel like it's mom's dad, actually, or I'm sorry, your uncle, your father's dad. I'm sorry, we were doing your
My
father's
father's
dad.
yes.
Yeah. I feel like in some way he's Mr. Fix-It, or I'm walking around looking for things to do. And
Yeah.
he does
Yeah.
feel like
Yes.
to be
Yes.
very outdoorsy, and he feels to be very detailed and actually very articulate or very eloquent with his words. So I know you may not know a lot about him, but I just keep hearing he's a storyteller. He's a storyteller.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And that how much he loved kids, and he would be so happy for you right now if
My
you
son,
understand
I'm
that.
telling you, since my son, I feel him. I know that yeah, it
Yeah.
makes total sense.
And I'm going to pass it over to Suzanne, but I just want to tell you there's something about, I just keep hearing celebration with you, celebration. So
Yeah,
look,
I'm going to be 30 in a few weeks, like 2
yeah,
weeks.
yeah. I just want to say, if you see some balloons off in the, if you see a balloon fly up into the sky or something, that type of a sign that's him. Like that's him sending you that sign. Talking about how I just feel like you being really grounded. That's how I'm going to end this, Dana. Like you're very grounded,
Oh,
and kind
too, I
yeah.
bet my cousin's wedding. That's
Thank you.
exactly what it is.
I was going to tell you it's a wedding.
That was the love of that was like his pride and joy. And he just got married and we were all
Thank you.
there. And
I was going to tell you, I kind of know little things about Dana. That's why I didn't want to say anything. I said, but there's a wedding in June.
The wedding, and we were all just there, and he would have been, oh my God.
It would have been really a big deal to him.
A big deal. That's what it is.
That's the wedding. Yes.
Suzanne.
That's it.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
That's why I didn't want to say anything. But yes, but it was like the whole family celebration got together. And this the young man would have been an extremely big deal to him.
Yep.
a big deal to him, you know.
A big one.
because
Yes, that's
he's had,
exactly.
he's had a really challenging life, this young man, and he finally found love in his life, and he has a beautiful family. I know this family. This is, I mean,
And that's why for the first time in my life, I'm telling you, leading up to that wedding, I felt him in my backyard, and that's totally why.
And there was another thing about this man's wedding. Do you remember that he was one who gave? Who did he marry, Dana?
And Amy?
Huh? Who did he marry?
Oh, me. He married me. He officiated my wedding. Yes.
Thank you very much.
You listen.
That's why I couldn't say anything, Cheryl, because I know these people. This is my extended family.
Oh,
Yeah. So you picked her, and I didn't have anything to do with it. So there you go.
You didn't have anything to do with it, Suzanne.
Oh, awesome.
But I knew it was the wedding that they were talking about.
I forgot.
And then on top of it, you know, like I said, that he officiated your wedding.
He did, and then we just went to his, and that would have been his favorite thing in the world, his wedding.
So there you go. Yes.
How lovely.
Yes.
Oh.
So no wonder that he showed up. Yeah. Very cool.
Oh,
Yeah, very cool. Hi.
Oh yeah, that's Weston.
there he is.
Yeah.
Nosy. Well,
Yeah.
thank you guys.
Thank you,
You're
Dana.
welcome, Dana. Be well, my dear. Giving you love.
Love to Florida. Gosh, it's gorgeous down there.
Yeah. Hot usually, but right now it's probably okay. Because I went to that wedding because I officiated for her sister. I married her sister. So it's actually a sweet story. I married her parents 33 years ago. 34 years ago, 35 years ago. Yeah, I married her parents when they met. Their sister asked me if I would marry them. I said, absolutely.
Oh.
And so then they had two daughters, Dana and Kayla. And then when Kayla wanted to get married, she said, Mom, you think Suzanne would marry me and Sean? And she said, well, why don't you ask her? So she called me up. And she said, my parents' wedding was a success. Well, would you marry me? So I married her.
Oh, that's
And
fantastic.
she has two children. And then 2 years later, Dana had her wedding, and she had her cousin marry her.
How beautiful.
Isn't that sweet?
It's so full circle.
It's a great story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've known these people for 40 years or something like that. Yeah.
Ah, there we are.
Yeah. So that's why I couldn't say anything. But good shoot. Good pick.
You're welcome.
But we may squeeze in one more quick. I think I want to try this. I'm looking for this one duck here.
Look for the duck.
Jeff. Can we find Jeff? I wanted to do the other guy. He was on Facebook. We couldn't do him. Then there was another one that was on Facebook. The men, for some reason, are on Facebook, but Jeff is a duck by him. So he'd be right at the beginning. Okay.
Huh.
I'm getting the fingers to go like this. So I'm going to take it to be that it's good luck here. So that was very sweet, Cheryl.
Well, thank you very much, Suzanne. There's so much energy around her and the celebration feeling, and so much like vitality or activity. I'll just say that I knew spirit was around.
Yeah.
Her.
Yeah, I got to go to her son's one year birthday. So there's Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
Oh, it's his first time.
Yes. I try to get some first timers once in a while, but there's people I don't know that I've read or you've read, and there you go. So
my wife tries all the time to get on.
Well, don't tell her that you got picked. Oh, there you are. I was going to say, don't tell her you got picked, because then we'll get perfect. Sometimes first time is a charm, Jeff. So
All right.
okay.
You're excited.
All right. I'm going to go for first, and then because we got to be quick. We're on a short thing here. Who's the fisher person in your family, Jeff?
My dad.
Yeah, I thought so. He's standing next to you with a fishing pole.
Oh.
And I'm hoping that he got to go take you fishing.
Yeah, him and his dad.
Yeah. Okay. Because he says he will know me by that. And he said you haven't connected to him, I guess, in a while. But he said he will know me by that. If you tell him he got fishing and I'm with a fishing pole, he'll know that I've connected with you today.
3 days before he passed, he went fishing.
He
There you go.
did.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So it's like he says, I've got my pole with me, you know. I got my pole with me. Now, I want to ask one of the quick. He got to meet your wife, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because he says, I liked who you married. I think you're gonna
Yeah,
have to
we all
take
do.
I think you're gonna have to take it to dinner later on, Jeff. Okay. He says, go spend some money anyway. So, but anyway, now I want to ask. He's talking about son. Obviously, you're his son, but would you also have a son?
Yes.
Okay, because he says, I visit the son.
Okay.
He says, I visit my grandson. Do you have two?
No, just one
Okay.
and a granddaughter.
That's
I
what
mean,
it
a
is.
daughter.
That's okay. All right. Thank you. There's the two. Wonderful. But he most definitely visits the boy. So I don't know if he ever feels his granddad around, because sometimes, children, sometimes they talk about it, sometimes they don't, whatever it is. But it's like the same thing, like fishing with you, fishing with your son, he's showing me that whole passed down fishing deal. So it's kind of really, really sweet. It's kind of really sweet. Yes. Can I ask you what a question? Is he a teenager or older, please?
He's older.
Okay. Why would your father talk about him in the car?
I don't know.
Did we get him a car? Was that like a big deal for some reason? When I keep seeing like in his teenage years or when he was in his 20s.
He loves cars.
He loves cars.
He loves cars. Okay. So, because your father's talking about him with cars, very strong. I'm glad your wife is sitting there, because otherwise you went brain dead on me there, Jeff.
Oh, yeah, she's here.
That's why she's here to nudge you on. Okay. So there's something, obviously, I guess he must ride around in his cars or something, but he definitely mentions him with the cars. So.
All right.
Okay. So you got a few minutes, Cheryl. Go for it.
Your dad is saying he loves you. He's doing so much better now. I feel like his breathing is so much better. His walking, his eyes can see, he can eat. He's almost like, I'm all put back together on the other side. And he's so grateful that you share his stories to your children, especially to your son, that you keep not only you keep his memory alive, but you keep all of his stories alive, because he's so funny in that way, or so sarcastic. And he has those little isms that you're teaching. And, he knows that you're never going to forget him. And he knows that you're praying for him. And he wants to say, I know, I hear you. Thank you for that. And that he's a healer. And I feel in some way you did pray for him when he wasn't doing well, of course. And he goes, I'm healed. I'm healed. And I do believe him just saying about the stars being bright again, like looking up at the stars again at night.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yep.
That's sweet. Yeah.
Awesome.
With his pole in his hand.
With his fishing pole in his hand.
That's him.
Yeah, with his pole in his hand. Yes.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know this, but the people that fish, they're very like kind of different characters. They're not like other people, like you have to really be like a calm person, a centered person, a quiet person that can sit for hours and just, look at this water, which is incredible to do. And, and hope that something happens. And if it doesn't, it's really okay. And that's fisher people that they're like that. I grew up around people that fished, and that wasn't my thing, because I couldn't put anything on I just couldn't, but anyway. Yeah.
He's also saying his back doesn't hurt anymore. He's like, yay, my back doesn't hurt anymore. Like I can dance again,
Yeah, he had a wooden leg too.
Oh my.
Wow. That's why he leans.
What's that?
That's why he leans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Never
saw him
slowed him
lean.
down.
Yeah, it was interesting, because I wasn't sure if he had a stroke or something, because sometimes when I see people that have had strokes, they'll lean, when they present themselves to me.
Yeah.
And
He was a teenager.
Yeah, so wow, that's interesting. So it was about his leg, oddly. Yeah, sure. It wasn't like you wouldn't notice it majorly, but but it was a shift of enough that it was like, a
Yeah.
half an inch or an inch or whatever,
Yeah,
That's
he had a
pretty-
little limp, but not much.
Yeah, that's great. That's wonderful. Well, thank you, my dear, for coming on.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, Jeff.
Take your
Thank
wife
you.
out to dinner.
For sure.
That's great, Suzanne. Oh my gosh.
Well, another hour zips by, Cheryl.
I'm telling you, it's like we could let's keep going. It's almost like let's keep going, but we know that time has
Yes.
upon us now. But thank you.
Yeah. Well, we have another gig coming up, don't we? Is it on the calendar? No.
If it's not, we need to make sure we get something on the calendar.
Yes, absolutely. So I don't know if we have. I think maybe. I don't know if we have something. I don't know. I'd have to look. Stephanie's shaking her head no, so maybe we don't. So I'll put something on my calendar and you put something on yours, and we will. Oh, I know what it was. We were going to do a thing this month in June, but we're doing a thing in July. That's what it is. See, I'm not. I still have my brains working on it. I knew I had something with you coming up, so it's the other thing that's in July.
Yeah, in July.
Got it.
Okay.
Well, again, I've got a couple of spots left this week on Wednesday for my small group, limited to 5 people. Everybody's guaranteed a message. And then I have next Monday my own Father's Day show. I think it's next Tuesday, actually, the 17th. And you guys can all check that out as well. All that stuff, of course, is on my webpage and at SuzanneNorthup.com. And then there's CherylMurphy.com. Are you Cheryl?
I'm at mediumcheryl.com. So mediumcheryl.com. And I have a free quiz on there about how to tune into your psychic abilities and which clair are you strong in. And, I have some free things on my website. And like I said, the healing prayer circles on Sunday. I love doing that. So yeah, just to share.
I know. I have a couple of people in my group, like Gail loves you. She loves her.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Gail.
She's super lady.
Mm-hmm.
So but so we just we keep it moving, as I say. We keep it moving.
Yeah.
And like I said, if some of you guys are, I think you might be some on my list. You might be on Cheryl's list, whatever it is. So you'll know everything that's going on, and stay tuned in, as they say. And pray for sun in the Northeast.
We'll send you some of our sun and our weather.
Oh God, Lord, unbelievable! Yeah, very, very long. Yeah, I heard it was actually really hot in California, but
it's hot, but it's okay. It's okay.
Well, that area is always for me. I mean, I lived out there 10 years, and it's always the best weather. So
yeah, no complaints.
No complaints. Well, in life, you never can complain about weather because you have no control over it.
True.
We do talk to the weather angels for for this time of the year for to do certain things, but other than that, we kind of do our thing. So you want to mention real quick, so your webpage is
hey, my website is mediumcheryl.com, and sign up for my newsletter. I'm always sharing my events coming up. I know Suzanne and I do a few events every year, and really any specials I have or any new programs or courses that I'm teaching. So yeah, sign up at mediumcheryl.com.
Right. And this is recorded, so you'll be able to check it out, because we hear things again, and as I always say, as Cheryl always says, listen to the messages, because you may not get one, but you may get one through somebody else, because there's always this osmosis moment that happens, and it's actually kind of really cool. And I'll get emails on that, and they go like, yeah, when you were talking to her, that reminded me of something that I did with my dad or whatever. So yeah, all good.
True. Well, Suzanne, it's been great. Thank you for having me on your show. And thank you to your audience, your listeners. It's just been such a joy to connect. And thank you to everyone really for connecting, bringing their fathers and their loved ones. And I mean, I think people even after the show today are going to continue getting messages. So.
Right. And you can check out Cheryl and I next month. I'm not remember the date. I know you changed it or whatever. But
no, we changed it. We'll be posting that. You'll be on our show next month.
Perfect. So you can check us out there.
Everyone, I'll be doing a podcast called Seeing Beyond Living Transformed, and we are back up and running in July. So, Suzanne, I'll be sending you some links to share with your audience.
Okay, sounds great. All right, guys, take care. Enjoy the summer. What they say, smell the roses.
Yay.
take walks on the beach, take hikes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Check it out. Thanks, guys.
Namaste.
Namaste.